Number 10, Texas Tech men's basketball opens up year number 3 of the Grant McCasland era with emphatic victory over Lindenwood, 98-60. Christian Anderson shines in a game where we were on triple-double watch out in the 806, and some newcomers standing out big time in some roles that they probably weren't expecting to have early on. Why, you might ask? No JT Toppin, LeJuan Watts, Luke Bamboye, and Josiah Mosley. Why did they miss the game? We'll discuss that and much more in today's recap video. Let's get to it. Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's RC Maxfield here for the Red and Black Report, and it's good to have Texas Tech men's basketball back, isn't it? Right? You think about it, Texas Tech football doing their thing on the gridiron and really standing out, and now, well, Texas Tech men's basketball is back and have their highest preseason ranking in program history. And, well, if you're excited about that like I am, all I'm going to ask you to do is simply like the video and hit that subscribe button. All right, let's jump into the stats in this one because it was an interesting one for the Red Raiders. As I mentioned, there was no JT Toppin. There was no, well, LeJuan Watts, Luke Bamboye, or Josiah Mosley. 4 guys that will more than likely be key cogs in your rotation. We obviously know JT Toppin will, LeJuan Watts, and then obviously Luke Bamboye, but Josiah Mosley probably fits that criteria as well. Your starting 5 in this one for the Red Raiders were Tyree Bryan, the transfer from Santa Clara. You had Nolan Groves, the Minnesota high school men's basketball player of the year from a year ago, a true freshman. Donovan Atwell, a transfer from UNCG, and then UNCG, excuse me. And then you had Mario Akuntak, as well as obviously Christian Anderson Jr. And CA was, just sensational in this game. 34 points, 11 assists, 7 rebounds, and 4 steals in 37 minutes. He was as advertised, and enjoy him while you have him, Red Raider Nation. This guy's going to be a lottery pick next year in the NBA draft. I mean, he's a bona fide superstar at the collegiate ranks, and I don't give a shit if it's Lindenwood or not. Like, he absolutely dominated this basketball game. I was watching it with a buddy, and Donovan Atwell was the point of conversation as he took 13 shots. All of them were from 3, had a few rebounds, 4 to be exact, but Donovan Atwell is a sharp shooter and a guy that, in my estimation, will probably shoot north of 40% from 3. And I know Tyree Bryan didn't look great in this game. I'm going to chalk it up to first game jitters. It looked like he was just off tonight. His shot was long, which is better than it being short. So I chalk it up to jitters. I don't think he is going to shoot 1 for 7 from 3 very often. In fact, I think he's going to shoot north of 40% from 3 this year as well. The main stat that stands out in the box score on this one, Nolan Groves, 16 rebounds. Yeah, you see that correctly. Only 7 points, 3 assists. He had 2 steals as well. But in his first collegiate start, the Minnesota high school men's basketball player of the year from a year ago, a guy that was a 0-star recruit, right before, honestly, he signed with Texas Tech, then became a 3-star recruit. He was the biggest guy on the floor at some points for the Red Raiders in this game. With 16 rebounds, I thought Mario Akuntak looked good. Jalen Petty looked good as well. He struggled from deep, but the Red Raiders, as a team, shot nearly 38% from 3, much to do with how, well, Donovan Atwell shot, as he had 6 of the 17 made threes for Texas Tech. Leon Horner played well in limited minutes as well. Overall, I mean, Texas Tech looked really good, as you would suspect, against the team in Lindenwood that just a few years ago, actually it may have been a couple years ago, made the jump to D1 college basketball. But overall, this is what you expected from Texas Tech. They were 35.5 point favorites, They win by 38. This is what Grant McCasland teams do. Now, the big talking point for Texas Tech fans is going to be this. Where the hell was JT Toppin? Where the hell was LeJuan Watts? Where was Luke Bamboye? And where was Josiah Mosley? Well, a few minutes before tip-off, I got alerted, and I let people on the Scarlet and Black Insider know that, hey, I don't think JT Toppin's playing tonight. But then you had this from John Rothstein, who is one of the most highly recognized college basketball insiders in the game going right now. Works for CBS Sports. Texas Tech's JT Toppin, lower body. LeJuan Watts, lower body. Josiah Mosley, lower body. And Luke Bamboye, lower body, are all out for tonight's game against Lindenwood per release. Okay, I'll be honest with you. I was not surprised by two of those guys, okay? Josiah Mosley and Luke Bamboye, I did not expect them to play tonight. They had been nursing through some things in terms of the injury front and wasn't too surprised that they weren't playing. LeJuan Watts, kind of surprising, kind of not. The one that surprised me the most was JT Toppin. Okay, I think everybody was surprised by that. But it sounds like this is very precautionary by this coaching staff. They want to ensure with the difficult non-con that they have coming up that those guys are as available and ready to play as possible, because this is not like a typical non-con season for the Red Raiders. You have to think about what this looks like, okay? You go to Illinois this time next week to play a top 20 team in the Fighting Illini in Champaign against a very well-coached Brad Underwood team, okay? Then you also go down to the Bahamas, where you may play the number one team in the country in terms of the preseason number one in the Purdue Boilermakers, okay? You're not done there, though. You also play LSU, and while LSU isn't a top 20 team, they are a Power 5 team and one that could make a little bit of noise in the SEC. We'll keep you posted on that. But you play them in Fort Worth at Dickies Arena. Then you still stay in the Metroplex, and you play, well, University of Arkansas, the team that you beat in stunning fashion in the Sweet 16 last year. You play Coach Cal. I'm sure they'll be out for revenge. That's another top 20 team. I haven't even mentioned that you play Duke up in Madison Square Garden as well, right? You play multiple, and I mean multiple, top 20 teams in the preseason poll in non-con. This is not your grandpa's, or I wouldn't even say that, your older brother's Texas Tech non-con lineup in terms of the scheduling department. And that was a point of emphasis for Grant McCasland and crew. Again, it sounds like this is a precautionary thing for JT Toppin, LeJuan Watts, Luke Bamboye, Josiah Mosley. Am I telling you that they're going to play against Illinois, or even better yet, on Friday night? No, I'm not telling you that at all. What I'm saying is it doesn't sound like this is going to be something that lingers into Big 12 play, and even not into the far, distant future type deal, right? Like, I would suspect that they are back sooner rather than later. But again, that's me speculating a little bit. We'll see what Grant McCasland has to say after the game. But from every indication that it seems like in terms of what we have been told from Grant McCasland is it doesn't sound like these guys are going to miss too much time. They're playing it precautionary right now. And I would suspect some of them are back for the Illinois game next week when the Red Raiders head up to Champaign for a top 20 matchup against the team in Illinois that, no joke, they are a dark horse, Final Four type team. We'll see how that goes for them this year, but it's going to be a true test for Texas Tech in game number 3 of the 2025 and 2026 season. But speaking of the 2025-2026 season, the Red Raiders open it with a 98-60 win. Christian Anderson was a superstar in this one, 34.7 rebounds, 11 assists, and 4 steals. He's the first player, according to Ryan Mainville, of the Gambling Gauchos, to have that stat line since 2014. Just a superstar performance. Again, enjoy it while you can, because I don't think he's going to be wearing the scarlet and black this time next year. I think he's going to be on an NBA roster. That's just my opinion. And on the injury front, take a deep breath. It sounds like it's going to be okay. Precautionary type stuff for Texas Tech, and they will be all right heading into a more than difficult non-con schedule, at least in terms of what they've done in the past. Sounds like they're just, again, uber precautionary on this stuff. And JT Toppin, LeJuan Watts, Luke Bamboye, Josiah Mosley should be back well before Big 12 play starts. And if we're being honest, that's all that really matters at the end of the day. All right. That's going to do it for today's Texas Tech men's basketball update. If you haven't already, be sure to like the video, hit that subscribe button to join the largest group of Texas Tech fans here on YouTube in the Red and Black Report. I mean, if you want to help the channel the most, the easiest way to do so, seriously, is hit that subscribe button. That's it. Really, truly. If you want 100% free content too, I mean, that will probably help. But, hitting that subscribe button helps us, and we're appreciative of you guys, obviously. All right, that's going to do it for today's video. I'm RC Maxfield, reminding you, as always, stay safe and Recom Tech.